Her name means maiden. In the marshlands of Melanesia, that is the first lie she tells you, and she tells it before you ever see her face, before you hear her voice, before you make the first of the decisions that will be your last. Her name means maiden. Remember that. The reed marshes of Melanesia are not the dense canopy jungle of popular imagination. They are flat, open, and suffocating in a completely different way. Still water extending in every direction, reed beds growing in dense clusters that block sightlines without blocking sky, mangrove roots half submerged at the water's edge, creating a threshold between solid ground and something that only looks like solid ground. It is a landscape that offers no cover and no escape simultaneously. Beautiful in the early evening light, when the water catches the last of the sun and the reeds glow gold at their tips. Exactly the kind of place you might walk toward without thinking clearly about how you would walk back out. The Abere has no origin story the legends bother to explain. She does not come from a curse, a tragedy, or an experiment gone wrong. She does not require a beginning. She simply exists at the edge of the water, as she always has, patient, certain, and wearing a name that means the opposite of what she is. She stands at the water's edge. She is beautiful. Every account across every Melanesian island group that carries her legend agrees on this. She is beautiful in a specific way, the way of something that has learned what beauty is supposed to look like and has reproduced it with complete accuracy. She is still. She does not approach. She does not gesture or call out or offer anything overtly. She simply stands at the water's edge and allows herself to be seen. That stillness, absolute, unhurried, requiring nothing from you, is the first thing that should stop you. It never does. Because the stillness does not read as threat. It reads as invitation. She knows this. She has always known this. She waits because waiting works. She is not alone. She has never been alone. Hidden in the reed beds around her, standing so still that the reeds seem to grow through them rather than around them, are others. Some accounts call them her daughters, born of the marsh, carrying her nature, extensions of her hunger into multiple bodies. Some say they are enthralled, women who came too close once and never found their way back, now serving what holds them. Some say they are simply her servants, with no origin the legend bothers to explain. Here is the thing worth understanding about these three explanations. They are not different versions of the truth. They are different versions of what the human mind needs the truth to be. What none of these explanations will allow is the simplest possibility, that evil congregates, that the darkness around her was already there before she arrived, that it did not need her permission to gather. The mimia reeds begin growing before you realize they are moving. This is the mechanism, not violence, not force, not the sudden revelation of something monstrous. Concealment. The reeds thicken around the space you occupy, slowly enough that each individual moment of growth is dismissible, fast enough that the cumulative effect is absolute. They do not cage you, they hide you. By the time you understand what is happening, no one passing could know you were there. The marsh closes over the evidence before the act is complete. She feeds. She is not territorial. She is not defensive. She is hungry. She has always been hungry. She will be hungry long after the last elder who whispered her name has gone quiet. The elders of Melanesia frame the Abere explicitly as a warning, not just about a creature, but about a category of mistake. Whether interpreted as a metaphor for the treacherous marshes themselves, or as a caution against reckless desire, her legend endures, whispered to children who wander near the water, repeated to young men who might follow beauty into places they cannot find their way back from. Not all beauty should be trusted. Not all stillness is peace. Not all company is safe, even when it looks like your own kind. She has no origin because she does not need one. She was there before the warnings, and she will be there after the last warning fades. Some things do not require a cause. They simply are. They have always been. They are entirely unbothered by whether you believe in them or not. The Goatman of Maryland announces itself. It is massive and wrong and carrying a weapon, and every instinct you have fires simultaneously. Run, leave, do not look back. It is horror that respects you enough to show you what it is. The Abere shows you nothing dangerous. She shows you something beautiful, something still, something that appears to be waiting for you specifically, as if you were expected, as if your arrival is the answer to something she has been holding. And you walk toward it, because that is what you do when something beautiful waits for you at the water's edge at dusk. The Goatman is a horror you survive by running. The Abere is a horror you create by approaching. One requires you to overcome fear. One requires you to overcome desire. And desire, it turns out, is considerably harder to overcome. No single culture invented fear, but every culture has noticed, independently, in its own language, through its own stories, that the most dangerous thing is not the monster that looks like a monster. It is the one that looks like exactly what you wanted. Same fears, different shores.